Hi everyone, it's Melissa Phillips here today, and we are going to be making windows and frames using our die cuts. And this is the card that I've got ready for you, and I'm going to walk you through the process. I started with my card base. This is cut from Melonberry. It measures 7.5 by 5 1/4 inches. And you could make it out of any color. I just really liked the contrast when you opened this card from the aqua mist to the Melonberry. So go ahead and cut your aqua mist cardstock the very same size as your card front that was cut from Melonberry. And I've gone ahead and rounded my corners on this as well. And then we're going to add just a little bit of tone-on-tone stamping around the edges of our aqua mist using Rosy Posy step number 2, that stamp set. Okay, so with my Rosy Posy step number 2, one of the images from it, and my aqua mist cardstock on ink, I am just going to stamp all around the outer edge of my card, just to create a really faint but beautiful pattern. Most of it's going to get covered up, but what is showing is going to look beautiful. And I just kind of flip back and forth to rotate my images a little bit so that they aren't all the same. And fill in all of those empty spots around your edge. Super simple, but I love this effect. This is kind of one of my most favorite looks when it comes to stamping, is how beautiful the tone-on-tone turns out looking. Doesn't take too long, and you can make mistakes and you don't even notice them. Okay, and just a little bit more there. And we have finished that portion. Okay, so then I have cut a piece of rustic cream cardstock, just slightly smaller than my aqua mist. That's going to go right over the top. This will provide our focal point, and that's what we're going to work on next. So cut yourself a piece of rustic cream cardstock slightly smaller and round your corners, and I'll show you what we do next. This is where we're going to make our frame, and I've used Limitless Layers hearts for my frame. And what we'll do first is cut a heart shape from our rustic cream cardstock. And this is how I like to do it. Just grab a piece of Scotch tape, place it on the front side of your cardstock, and then position your die on the back. I might have said that backwards. Position the tape on your die, and then you're going to adhere it to the back side of your cardstock. So essentially, when I run this through my die cut machine, it's going to cut a heart right in place, right where I need it to, and the tape will keep it in place from slipping, as you go through the die cut process. So there's our window for our card front, and then let's go ahead and make the tiny little frame that frames out our heart-shaped window. What I've done is used Limitless Layers hearts again, and this is Sweet Blush Leaves paper. So I've gone ahead and cut myself a heart with a scalloped edge, and then I'm going to use my plain solid heart once again, and I'm going to just repeat the process. Grab some tape, adhere it to the front side of my die, and then I'm going to flip it over and position it right in the center of my die cut heart, and then run it through my die cut machine, and it will form a sweet little frame to frame out our heart for us. There's my little framed out scalloped heart, and we will add that at a later point, but at least we've got it ready now. So now what we'll work on is just the floral stamping at the top and the bottom of the heart. And I have used Melonberry for step 1 with my Rosy Posy step 2 stamp set. And I'm just going to stamp a couple down here in the bottom, overlap them a little bit. And then I'm going to stamp one up here in the corner. Step 2 with my Rosy Posy Step 2 stamp set is stamped using Berry Sorbet. It just takes a minute to get lined up, but this is such a beautiful stamp set. I need to pull it out more often. I'm pretty brave trying to do this 2-step stamping with you all watching. Wish me luck. Okay. There we go. Success. I'm shocked. Shocked at myself. Okay. Just see how that adds a lot of depth, that second step. I love it. So pretty. Okay, so with Bigger Blooms and some Sweet Blush ink, I'm just going to add some soft little flowers for effect here and there. I love these colors mixed together. Remind me of spring. Okay, and maybe we'll do one more right here. Okay, now for the leaves, I am going to create aqua mist leaves. Who says leaves have to be green? Okay, and let's see, they're just going to help frame in that heart a little bit, so I don't need too many of them. And let's do one right here. Okay. Finish off with our sentiment. It's just going to be really soft and faint across the bottom. Not centered, really, but just placed there to accent everything and bring in the colors. I love it. Alright, I thought it would be fun to add some something behind the heart, just to bring in some more texture. And so what I've done is I've used my Cover Plate Twist die. I've just cut a scrap of rustic cream, and I'll need to trim it there. But alright, so I trimmed my Cover Plate Twist just to fit on the back. And when you're adhering it, make sure you adhere it centered underneath the heart so that your pattern is centered. Okay, and then I just cut a little block of vellum, and I'm going to place that right behind it as well and adhere that in place. And I'm just going around the outside of the heart here with my glue. I don't know what it is about vellum, but it just, I don't know, it has a way of softening things just a little bit. And also at the same time helping to blend all of those different colors and shades in. So there's what that looks like with the vellum and the Cover Plate Twist on there. So all we've got to do next is kind of start embellishing and adding all of the fun little touches. So for my frame, I like to use Krylon spray adhesive. It's my favorite spray adhesive. And I just spray this, you know, somewhere that's ventilated. Spray your frame. And then I use Prisma white glitter. It is not essential to do this, but I highly recommend it. We're just going to then adhere that in place. I just go around the outside of my heart. My favorite glue to use for just about everything paper crafting related is Beacon Fabri-Tac. In fact, I don't really use anything else other than a hot glue gun occasionally for bulky embellishments. Blow your excess off just a little bit. What else we'll need to do is to kind of finish off our sentiment if you'd like, and I used the rustic cream cardstock again in the double-ended banner die. And I'm going to turn to the best is yet to be stamp set again for this portion of our sentiment. Alright, so I just chose You and Me, you know, in honor of Valentine's Day, or this would make a perfect anniversary or even wedding card. And I just stamped it on the tail end of our double-ended banner. And I'm going to trim off the excess. It's going to be covered with a fairly bulky button, so you don't have to worry about trimming it exactly precise, but we'll go ahead and adhere that in place. Where did my glue go? I never claim to have a spotless craft table. Things get lost. It just happens. Does that happen at your house? That would make me feel a lot better if you would say yes. And things fall. And kids throw tantrums. You might hear one of those, you know, during this as well. But okay, I got sidetracked. So select yourself a button, an aqua mist button. Unfortunately, I don't have another cute flower, but kind of like the way that one looks. I think I will use that one. So I've got my button in place, and I went ahead and added a few sequins. I don't know if you have tiny adhesive pearls at home, but those would work as well. I happen to have a little thing for sequins right now. And then I'm going to use Orange Zest Baker's Twine. It is a perfect soft shade to go with your melonberry, your sweet blush, colors like that. And what I'm going to do after my button is nice and secure, I'm just going to wrap my Baker's Twine around the button. I'm not going to pull too tight. And then I'm going to tie a bow. Cross my fingers, I can do this the first time for you. Seems like it's a series of bloopers when I'm trying to record one of these for you, but okay. Yep, it worked. Leave your tails long or cut them short, whatever you prefer. I like long tails. Anyway, I sure hope you'll give this windows and frames tip a try, and let me see what you've done. I hope you enjoy creating as much as I have. Thanks for stopping in.